Look up the Rockefeller that went missing over there. What? Ooh. Where? In that Glacier National Park? Michael Rockefeller? After drifting for some time early on November 19th, Rockefeller said to Wassing, "I think I can make it." He then swam for shore. The boat was an estimated 14 miles from the shore when Rockefeller made the attempt to swim to safety. A journey to the heart of New Guinea's Asmat tribal homeland sheds new light on the mystery of the heir's disappearance. What if he just stayed there and he's like, dude, this is way more chill. But he's a Rockefeller, so we know that he probably faked his death, just like Irwin Teal did. I still can't believe that Synthara gave him up. That's so awesome. Just tattling on her daddies. But so what? This guy went on some fucking, what is it called? Walkabout, and then he got killed. Look at them ears. Dude, these Rockefellers, they got big old fucking ears too. Incest will do that, right? Dude, come on. Look, guys, these are the Ubermensch. Travels to New Guinea ultimately took him beyond the reach of his famous family. Colonial authorities killed in 1958 raid, a prelude to the events that would ensnare Rockefellers. Dude. He recalled events before and after Rockefeller's distance, but maintained he knew nothing about it. An Asmat ancestor skull, often used as a pillow to keep the spirits at bay, has the lower jaw intact under the skulls of these who have been headhunted. What? Dude, I hope the Rockefellers all get headhunted. And then, so wait, then someone just said that there was like a whole bunch of people who got buried or some shit in Papua New Guinea. Wait, where did I see that? And Papua New Guinea is where freaking the Teal Daddy was for a while. The Andaman Islands. I think that's how you spell it. Look up the image of him surviving and living with the tribes. Wait, so wait, is that this? No. Look up the image of him surviving and living with the tribes. That's what I was thinking. Like, what if he just stayed there with them? I think they sabotaged his journey because he was humanizing the indigenous. Michael Rockefeller. Did this? There's evidence to suggest he survived and lived with the tribe. Dude, I hope so. Agamemnon Films, founded by Fraser and Charlton Heston, will explore the mysterious 1960s death of a member of one of the most powerful families in American history. Fraser Heston developed a feature film about Michael Rockefeller. Is it this photo that suggests that it's him? That's awesome. Rockefeller, the son of Nelson Rockefeller, the governor of New York at the time, who was later became U.S. vice president. He was visiting the Asmat tribe in what was then Netherlands, New Guinea, when his canoe overturned more than 5 decades ago. After the accident, 2 local guides successfully swam more than 3 miles to shore, while 23-year-old Rockefeller and his companion, anthropologist Renee Wassing, remained with the capsized boat. Eventually, Rockefeller also attempted the swim, but then was never seen again. Dude, this is so weird. I never heard about this. Heston was researching the subject in 2008 when he learned that Macklin, now deceased, had some 15 reels of 16mm from his trip to New Guinea that was gathering dust in a vault. Heston's documentary, also called The Search for Michael Rockefeller, is based on the book. Features some of the now retrieved film that Macklin and his crew shot. We came across the shot of a naked white man paddling a canoe full of Asmat warriors in 1969 who looked suspiciously like Michael. Here's the footage. Yes. Dude, I hope this is him. I hope that he fucking stayed there and was like, my family is crazy. These guys are talking about getting right with the universal one. I'm staying here with them. Dude, that's what I would do. I'm ready to like go find a freaking tribe somewhere and just be like, bro, can we fucking fix these pyramids and like talk about normal shit and talk about the mysteries of life instead of like talking about how cutting the grass or whatever everyone talks about now. It's all boring shit.
This is the most disturbing photo of all. This man is called Michael Rockefeller, and he is heir to the powerful Rockefeller family. After his boat sank near an island in 1961, Michael disappeared forever, this last photo being taken of him alive with the tribe that possibly ate him. The surprise came a few years later, when National Geographic made a new documentary about the Asmat tribe and found a man very similar to Michael, as if he had joined the tribe. To this day, nothing more is known about him. And you, what do you think happened to Michael Rockefeller? This is the most disturbing photo of all.
Dude, this is awesome. Good on him. That's great, dude. Everyone, we gotta drop out of this BS. Everyone's got a Michael Rockefeller it. So done with all these Nancys and all this. I don't know, just grinding our lives away for a boss. Like, no, we deserve to know the mysteries of life, guys. We deserve free time. We deserve freaking love. We deserve everything. He might have chosen to forsake his life as a scion of one of the world's wealthiest families to stay with his friends, the Asmats. It sounds far-fetched, but that's the stuff legends and great stories are made of. Truly, dude. Like, dude, he probably knew better than anyone that these money people. Was he the oldest sibling, the oldest child? Would he have inherited the Rockefeller shit? And who are all the Rockefellers now? I feel like they're in like deep cover. Like, we don't really know who they are, right? Or like know of them that much. They don't really pop into the like media that much anymore, I feel like. The truth about it. Plans are for filming to begin in... Did this movie ever get released? This is cool. Good. Smart. Screw these fuckers. Screw the Rockefellers, dude. Which one is he? Top is Michael. Michael is standing at the right. Okay, so it doesn't seem like he's the oldest brother, but he would have been up there. Dude. I would abandon this family instantly. I can see the sadness. This man does some weird stuff to his children, I'm sure, too. Screw that. And what is it? The Andaman Islands? Okay. Cool. Where is this goddamn... Where's the, Oh, this is my wrong map, that's why. Doesn't matter. Edinburgh of the Seven Seas? What the hell is this? Is the only settlement on the island of Tristan da Cunha. Dude, I'm never getting over the snake. And then there's little Bouvet Island. Well, at least our Andaman brothers are chill over here, I think. They're not going to get hurricaned by Peter Thiel, but it looks like all of us are. Yeah. So they're blasting the microwaves up here, and then it's going to go... Wah! He was getting the blast to come all the way up here, so I don't know, man. Maybe he is going to get all of us. It's going to do big time hurricane season. Ugh. Look at how blue the waters look here. Is that because the water's really warm? I heard that when Peter was doing the electrical, when he was doing the microwaves from Bouvet Island, that the water looked freaky blue. Like, I don't know. Anyway. I'm gonna freaking bookmark this tab. All right, and then let's watch a couple more minutes of bookmark current tab. Let's watch a couple more minutes of some Terrence Howard. He was going to try and show how advanced the tribes really were, and that would have fucked up taking their resources. 1,000,000,000%. Never even considered that, but you're so right. Yeah, dude. Because these, and dude, think about it. Yeah, he chose to stay. Like, he left everything. He had the world at his fingertips, and he chose to stay there. That's cool. They're onto some shit that we are not, you know? And dude, yeah, these like so many indigenous cultures are so beautiful, and like when you take a step back and you look at Western culture, white culture, it is a fucking nightmare. Dropping your kids off at 8 in the morning and not seeing them till 6 p.m., leaving them at some random place, you know, like so that you can go and hustle and grind your life away. Your kids grow up without like, you know, having people around. Like, dude, I would immediately gravitate towards like tribal living. You're like, your communities are not meant to just be husband, wife, children. Husband, wife, children. They want us all isolated so that we all fear everyone. And then, yeah, we allow them to keep stealing resources. That's what it's all about. So they have to compartmentalize all of us. And they say, oh, no, people, it's not normal to live at your parents' house. It's not normal to have a family home and use your family to depend on and have like a support structure. You should all spread out, and you should all just find a wife who's going to make the dinner every night and shut the fuck up. And all these kids who are just going to do what you say, okay? That's the meaning of life. No, I bet the meaning of life is paddling fucking catamarans with your homies and jamming. I bet they jam. I bet those boys jamming all the time. They're playing music and shit because they get it. They know what life's about. All these sad bankers and shit. None of these people have a creative bone in their body, and we let them tell us what to do. Those people couldn't make art if their life depended on it. But yeah, I think that the indigenous tribes and stuff have like, I mean, they're a threat to these people, right? The Native Americans were a total threat to the colonialists. They had to get rid of them because people were running away from the colonies and going to live with the Native Americans because because colonial life is literal hell. It still is. And we've just been given enough tiny treats to make our brains think that this is normal. But it's still hell, dude. We all still sit here and we're like, I'm so anxious. Oh, I'm exhausted. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, everything. It's because you don't have a moment to chill ever. You're always running and doing shit for your boss or whoever. You know, like we all have PTSD. I would abandon this life in a minute if I got a chance to, you know? Like, dude, I want to go paddle catamarans with my boys. They said they had pieces of his body, but no one ever actually investigated it. They never actually talked to the dude who claimed that, I don't think. Dude, that's what I'm finding too, is none of this shit has been investigated. A couple of these, like Time magazine has written, yes, Prescott or Joseph Robinette Sr. is definitely Joseph Robinette Jr.'s son or dad, and he's definitely not Nancy Saboteur. Just there's no people asking these questions. We all look and say, the reporters, they looked into this, and no, they're fucking liars. They're all liars. And yeah, dude, I guarantee you're so right. They said, no, our son died because he was going to say, dude, these people are onto some crazy shit. They're talking about manifesting. They're talking about manifesting, taking down the entire Rockefeller family just from Jungle Vibes and hanging with the boys. And he's like, I got to show the world this. And their family was like, no, I think you died. You died there. Stay there. We're going to tell the world you died. But, you know, by the time he finally heard that, I bet he was like, yeah, This is why I left. My family literally would rather pretend I died than for me to share with the world how cool these indigenous people are that they want to steal all their land from.
Your ability to point out and discern patterns. You'll see a list of objects and they'll ask you, what's next? They'll ask you what number fits inside of this other group of numbers. The only way you can accurately answer the question is by being able to perceive some specific.
Oh yeah, and his dad was doing MK Ultra funding. Yeah, like all these rich people, dude, I bet that the Rockefellers all were probably subjected to this fucking MK Ultra shit. Cuz it seems like they do it to their family. They need to have the control. So like look at Taylor Lorenz. She went through that MK Ultra. She's fully in like the triggering thing, you know, like they're able to trigger her and get her to do whatever they want. So yeah, I bet that he probably got into the MK Ultra shit. They probably did traumatize him and shit, and then he got out. He was able to leave, and he took it. Genius.
Specific pattern. Perhaps all of the numbers are odd. Maybe they are the square root of some other number, etc. This isn't anything new. This isn't groundbreaking science. It is common knowledge that pattern recognition is at the core of how human beings interpret reality. But have you ever really asked yourself, well, what exactly is a pattern then? It's rather simple. A pattern is any instance that
Wait, in this footage, is the glasses thing that you were talking about in this footage that you just sent? Or this is different footage?
This is the most disturbing photo of all. This man is called Michael Rockefeller, and he is heir to the powerful Rockefeller family. After his boat sank near an island in 1961, Michael disappeared forever, this last photo being taken of him alive with the tribe that possibly ate him. The surprise came a few years.
And just the classic, the tribe ate him. Oh, really? That's the first conclusion we're going to jump to here? That sounds like a misinformation campaign. Check.
This is the most disturbing photo of all. This man is called Michael Rockefeller, and he is heir to the powerful Rockefeller family. After his boat sank near an island in 1961, Michael disappeared forever, this last photo being taken of him alive with the tribe that possibly ate him. The surprise came a few years later, when National Geographic made a new documentary about the Asma tribe and found a man very similar to Michael, as if he had joined the tribe. To this day, nothing more is known about him. And you, what do you think happened to Michael Rockefeller? This is the most disturbing photo of all.
He would be like, because he disappeared in what did they say, 67? And he was probably like 20 something there. So if he's still alive, he's got to be like 80, right? 70? I bet he's still alive, dude. Probably is. They've been using the ritual familial cannibalism against the people of New Guinea to paint them as savages for years. Of course, they said that he ate them. Yeah. And you know what's funny, dude? You know what's so funny? I mean, look, dude, that's what the whole cannibalism thing in Haiti, you know, that they want everyone to think that the people of Haiti are cannibals. I think they're talking about Peter Thiel and his fellow vampires. That this is like, it's always the same shit. It's dehumanize, make him look scary, oh, look, his name's Barbecue, and he eats humans. We have to go and decimate Haiti, even though we did that earthquake to them 10 years ago, and then we drank all their kids, you know? Like, where the next group, the next people that they decide has to have a fucking island earthquake massacre, they're going to say, oh, look, and they eat people too. They just eat people. Yeah, we deserve their land. See? They ate people. It's so lame.
He wrote a book. He wrote The Prophet.
He might have been, oh yikes, y'all, he might have gotten eaten. I think this was solved 8 months ago. What the frick? No, we can't believe that, boys. We can't believe that. We can't believe this. No. Our homie fucking lived a great life with his tribe.
Throughout history, mysterious disappearances have captivated audiences. However, few tales are as frightening and freaky as that of Michael Rockefeller, member of the legendary Rockefeller family and grandson to John D. Rockefeller Jr.
So
Michael
criminal.
Rockefeller vanished without a trace in the heart of the uncharted Asmat region in Papua New Guinea during an expedition. The circumstances surrounding his disappearance, the Asmat tribe, and the eerie found footage left investigators and armchair sleuths alike scratching their heads until now. In 1969, an adventure magazine reporter named Milt Macklin recorded footage to include in his documentary about Rockefeller's disappearance. 40 years later, this footage was reviewed and it was discovered that something incredible was in the footage that no one had ever seen before. I'm going to tell you the story of Michael Rockefeller, what was discovered on the footage, and the truth behind Michael's disappearance. Before the rest of the episode, remember, if you enjoy Freaky What content, click the freaky liker button shaped like a hand. Subscribe to the channel and click the content alarm bell so you know when your favorite freaky content is uploaded. Okay, let's get back to it. Nestled in the heart of the dense Papua New Guinea rainforest, the Asmat tribe has long remained an enigma to the outside world. Famed for their intricate wood carvings and fearsome headhunting practices, the Asmat people offered a tantalizing glimpse into a culture that was both captivating and mysterious. Michael Rockefeller, a Harvard graduate and heir to one of America's most powerful families, was lured by the call.
Dude, all I'm saying is if he got friendly with them and then was like, oh, and then I'm going to, I'm gonna become friendly with the tribe, and then I'm gonna talk to my daddy, and then I'm gonna be like the interpreter, and I'm gonna end up fucking them. If that's what he ended up choosing to do, then I hope they ate him. I hope they ate him and then spit it all out. I hope they ate him and then barfed it all out, so it was just a waste, He's probably all gristly, but if he stayed there and he abandoned Western culture, I think that he would be fine. I think he would get eaten if he did something that he shouldn't do, like
Anthropological
I would eat him too.
exploration to the remote corners of the earth. He was interested in learning the culture and studying this tribe, and he had the means to do it. Michael fell in love with the people.
You see what these tribes, I feel like all these tribes are always doing is singing and dancing in unison and like vibing. You know what I mean? And what have they done? They have done everything to keep us from vibing and singing with our boys. But whenever something bad happens, what do, guys? We sing. We always sing. We figured it out. Like, I do think that that's important. I think it's super important. I think, yeah, music and art and like real culture and like flipping their negative shit into positive shit is what scares them the most.
In the tribes of New Guinea on previous expeditions, and even tried to barter with one of the tribes for what he considered.
These tribes got mad drip too. These nose bones, that's metal.
Considered to be tribal art. In fact, after Michael attended a previous expedition with fellow students from Harvard, he decided to stay and become well-versed in the culture of the Asmat tribe, so much that his father, Nelson Rockefeller, opened up a museum in New York called the Museum of Primitive Art to display art from places like New Guinea.
Yeah, maybe he was stealing a bunch of shit and he got caught.
One example of this art.
Dude, these poles that they keep showing are awesome. What is this? This is like a tower of people. And then what is this flag thing? Right? It's like people standing on each other's shoulders and doing the like holding each other, right? It looks like it. And then this thing is like, what, a sail? It's cool.
Is the Asmat Bizpole. A bizpole.
Dude, these are cool as hell.
Pole is carved from a single mangrove tree. The Asmat tribe believe that the spirits of the dead stay among the living until their deaths are avenged. Bizpoles.
Wait, they stay among the living until their deaths are avenged? Wait, this is not a person, right? This is like a... Dude, that is a kick-ass... Until their deaths are avenged?
Or
Dude, I hope you guys care... I hope that when I know that my soul will stay here haunting Peter Thiel until my death is avenged, until the Nitwitches get their revenge. I know I will not leave Peter Thiel's
ancestor
side.
spirit poles are made to hold the spirits of the recently deceased and keep them away from the village. They carve these poles and they are beautiful expressions of their sacred ancestors. Americans might look at them as art. The tribes don't consider these to be art, as it is a deep
Oh, so did someone take these? Did someone take these and they shouldn't have?
part of their culture, and they are considered sacred.
Dude, if he betrayed them, he deserves to be barbecued. If he fucking, dude, I hope that he was like, yeah, I'll be friends with them for 5 years. This is the most fed thing to do, right? Oh, I'll be friends with them. Oh, I'm going to be best friends with them. And then like the first 4 or 5 years, you know, everyone's like, oh, I'm being such friends with them. And then eventually the feds go, okay, now you got to steal their shit. What are you doing? And then he goes, okay, I guess they'll probably think that I'm, you know, I've done 5 years of stuff with them. And I said that I've joined their clan. They'll probably be fine with me taking one of their spirit biz poles. Dumbass. I hope he got eaten now. Fuck this guy.
Michael loved the look and artistic expression of the bizpole, and
Man, we really 180'd on this guy fucking quick, right? That's what happens when you're a billionaire fed. You mean nothing to us. You know what I mean? We will abandon you, millionaire, billionaire, rich family, skull and bones, Harvard law, Yale asshole. We will abandon you guys like that. The second you have your eyes set on a biz pole, you're done. You're toast. We hate you.
he had negotiated a trade of some goods from America in exchange for one of these bizpoles. The problem was the tribe had not kept up their end of the bargain. Michael had plans to go to the Asmat tribe on this trip and come home with his bizpole. Michael also teamed up with a Dutch anthropologist named Rene Wassing to begin to travel and collect unique art pieces from all over the world and bring them back.
Dude, go and take pictures. What is wrong with these people? Why do you have to take everything that does not belong to you? Go and draw a picture of it and then come back and tell people about it. Do a photograph. You have film cameras. What are you doing? Are you trying to get eaten? Like, this is the problem, right? These people think that they deserve everything. They think that everything in the world is theirs. They don't give a shit. They don't give a shit if you're like a tribe of cannibals. They say, no, I'll be fine. It sounds like this dude got what he deserved.
To his father's museum in New York.
Is this museum still here? It better not be.
On Saturday, November 18th, 1961, the ambitious young 23-year-old Michael Rockefeller attempted to continue his expedition to study the Asmat people.
Dude, and this boy was trying to show his daddy how much he loved being a Rockefeller, I bet.
Aiming to add to the world's knowledge of this ancient tribe. His boat was approaching a rough patch of sea where the Betsjay River poured out into the Arafura Sea and caused large waves. As Michael, Rene Wassing, a Dutch anthropologist, and 2 local guides, Simon and Leo, traveled by these hand-carved canoes that were tied together to form a catamaran over the Arafura Sea, waves began splashing over the sides of the boats, and they began to fill with water. The crew was unable to move the catamaran, and it was sinking faster and faster. As Michael and his crew were now stranded in shark and crocodile-infested waters trying to figure out what to do, the 2 guides offered to swim for help and immediately left Michael and Renee as they began swimming towards the shore.
That's so
the boat
funny.
was approximately 5 nautical.
They're like, hold on, I'll go get help. Bye. Dude, immediately. Yo, what up, Rat Track? We're talking about Michael Rockefeller. He, well, first for a second, we thought that he abandoned his family to join the Asmat tribe because their vibes were probably chiller than Rockefeller vibes. But no, maybe he pretended to join them so that he could steal shit from them, and then maybe he got caught. We're not sure yet. We'll see. But if this guy tried to take these cute ass poles from these Asmat tribes, they say they're called biz poles, and it's something to do with the spirits of their ancestors who pass away, and Mr. Rockefeller here wanted to steal that and give it back to his daddy, of course, so he could put it in a museum. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I hope
miles
something
from
horrible.
the shore where several coastal villages in South New Guinea were, and land was barely visible. Suddenly, a wave slammed into the catamaran and flipped it completely over. Michael grabbed a floating gas can, called a jerry can, and tied it onto his belt to help him float. Michael, feeling frustrated, turned to Renee and said, "I think I can make it." Renee argued that the tide was against him and he wouldn't be able to make it, but Michael didn't listen and began swimming toward the shore anyway. Around 12 hours later, Renee Wassing was rescued by a boat sent by Dutch authorities. Renee immediately asked if Michael Rockefeller had made it to land or had been heard from. The boat captain said that they were contacted by 2 local guides and that Michael had not been heard from. Authorities
battling
immediately
away
began searching
whitely.
for Michael Rockefeller. The Rockefeller family initiated one of the largest searches in history. The Dutch governor sent
Dude, imagine making a biz pole out of a philosopher's stone. You got a piss pole. Oh man, imagine the kind of good fortune that would give you. Dude, that's the other thing too, is we got to figure out, can we collect, like, is it just it's not supposed to be just one person's piss, right? I feel like the more piss, the merrier. Probably, right? So we get all the nitwitches piss, and we know that's going to be clean piss, hate-free piss, because that's the thing, is you got to make sure that you don't have any hateful piss in your alchemy, right? The hateful piss, I feel like, is how you get Sith Lords, and we're Jedis here, okay?
boats, planes, Marines, and police units out in order to find Michael. 5,000 locals searched through the swamps along the coast in search of Michael. Australian and Dutch aircraft visually scanned the coastline. The U.S. 7th Fleet even began looking after receiving a telegram from President John F. Kennedy wanting to help. Michael's concerned father, Governor Nelson Rockefeller of New York, and Michael's twin sister, Mary, were already on location with a
Look at how concerned he is. Look, she's even like, my dad is full of shit.
group of journalists in Morocco in order to assist with the search and rescue operations.
You know what this feels like, though, actually, is like, yeah, it feels like a reason to invade Papua New Guinea.
For Michael. Three years after the search for Michael Rockefeller began, his father, Nelson Rockefeller, released a statement on behalf of the Rockefeller family that said they believed Michael Rockefeller was now deceased. Finally, after 3 years of searching for their beloved son, the Rockefeller family began to grieve. Michael's sister, Mary, wrote a book entitled When Grief Calls Forth the Healing, a memoir of losing a twin. Things began to get back to normal, and life continued on for the Rockefeller family. Across the sea in New Guinea, local people and local tribes began telling the stories of the missing wealthy American, and many people understood more than anyone else in the world what really happened to Michael Rockefeller.
Come on.
In 1969, 5 years after Michael Rockefeller was declared dead by his family, rumor began to spread that a source from Australia who had been on an expedition near the villages on the shore where Michael had vanished had seen Michael Rockefeller in the jungles around one of these villages. Milt Macklin, a reporter for Adventure magazine, took this tip.
Dude, this guy is awesome. This is like Dr. Robotnik. Look at him. This guy's mustache rules. And he's just got a magazine called Adventure. Oh yeah.
And decided to take action and see if this rumor was true. Milt did research and found out the exact area where this person supposedly saw Michael. He was followed everywhere he went by a film crew to capture every moment, hoping that they would find Michael Rockefeller. After many weeks of looking for Michael, intense searching, and speaking with local tribes, Milt and the film crew returned with no sign of Michael in the jungles of New Guinea. Upon his return, Milt Macklin compiled all of the information he collected and began telling the story of his expedition. He even wrote a best-selling book entitled The Search for Michael Rockefeller. The film crew that followed Milt around turned in all of the footage they captured and put it in storage in case Milt Macklin wanted to use it for any projects. Milt decided since he hadn't found Michael and he wrote his book, he wouldn't pursue creating any more projects about this subject.
Like, he didn't see the fucking white guy when they were filming him? Really?
So he never
Like, I feel like he kind of sticks out a little bit.
reviewed any of the footage of his search for Michael Rockefeller. Years after Milt Macklin stored his footage, a filmmaker interested in creating a documentary on Michael Rockefeller decided to review the footage to see if there was any information or video that he could use in his documentary. Shockingly, his team discovered something that would take the world by storm. In one of the videos, hundreds of Asmat warriors could be seen rowing down a river and shooting arrows in an Asmat tribal war ceremony. In the middle of the video team saw a Caucasian male, stark naked with a beard, in amongst the tribal warriors. He not only stood out, he looked very familiar.
Dude.
It appeared to be Michael Rockefeller.
Oh, for sure, bro. And come on, this guy didn't see this? He didn't go through this footage then? I don't know. It feels like he said, "Oh yeah, your son is incorporated into this tribe," and he said, "I don't have a son anymore. If he's not interested in world domination, maybe he did."
Immediately, people began talking about how at the time the footage was taken, Michael was still alive and living as a tribesman amongst the people of the Asmat tribe. It appeared that he wanted to escape the grand life of the wealthy Rockefellers and live.
Oh, we're only halfway, so I bet this isn't the answer, right? Oh no.
A simple life as a tribesman. This rumor quickly spread, and many people believed this is what happened. A few years later, a National Geographic editor and best-selling author named Carl Hoffman decided to get to the bottom of what really happened to Michael Rockefeller. In an interview, Hoffman said, "I became aware of Rockefeller in my 20s, and his story never left me." Hoffman says, "He just disappeared into myth, leaving many unanswered questions. I thought I'd go into this alien world and discover the truth of what really took place." Hoffman went to New Guinea on a mission to live
Ad break.
amongst the Asmat people, build trust, and learn the truth.
Yeah, so cross-sex pea stones are elite. Exactly.
After many weeks of earning their trust, Hoffman began asking and hearing stories. Every story he heard matched the other stories from the tribe and seemed to paint a vivid picture of the final moments of Michael Rockefeller. The people were reluctant and warned Carl that he could not tell anyone what they said. Every time he heard a piece of the story, he was warned that telling anyone the truth could mean death for them and possibly death for him. Carl did not heed the warning. Upon returning to the U.S., he wrote a book that contained the truths told to him about what really happened to Michael Rockefeller. And I'm going to let you know what he said right now.
Tell me.
On Saturday, November 18th, 1961, 3 Asmat tribal elders named Ajim, Finn, and Pep were standing amongst other men on 8 canoes near the mouth of the Betsjay River. The group of tribal men were relaxing on their canoes, smoking hand-wrapped cigars, and taking time to rest after a long day of hunting. Suddenly, Ajim spoke up and pointed out an odd, white-looking creature in the crashing waves ahead. It appeared to be some type of snake or crocodile, and Ajim wanted all of the men to be aware. The Asmat men began rowing and making their way toward the opening of this river where the creature was swimming, preparing for anything as they did not know what it was. The men prepared to attack, and some of them raised their spears as they got closer. Finally, as the creature came into sight, the men put down their spears and began to laugh when they saw a white man floating on his back with funny clothes on and tied to a floating red can. Michael rolled over, saw the tribal men, and a sigh of relief came over his face. He then reached up to grab one of the canoes. The elders began analyzing the situation. Pep needed confirmation on the situation, so he looked at the other 2 elders, Ajim and Finn, until they all shook their heads in agreement. Pep then looked back down at Michael and pulled him into the canoe. Michael laid back from exhaustion and closed his eyes to try and get some strength back. He was happy to finally be safe. Michael sat up and noticed the men were canoeing toward land. Assuming they were taking him to the tribe, he began asking if they could help him get assistance for Renee, who was still at the boat. However, the language barrier was very strong, and the men began chanting. While the men chanted some kind of ritualistic sounding chant, Michael noticed they were beaching the canoes in an area that was far from the tribe. In fact, it looked very remote, and the only thing visible was a large open area inside of many trees. All of a sudden, one of the men from the Asmat tribe began laughing hysterically and pointing at Michael. The entire group of men then began laughing out loud and pointing. Some of the men seemed to be making fun of Michael while they laughed. Michael didn't know what to do. The men suddenly stopped laughing and began chanting in a rhythmic style once again. Suddenly, the Asmat man who started the laughing approached Michael slowly. Michael laid down in the canoe in the opposite direction of the approaching man. As he completely laid down and reached the end of the canoe, the tribesmen took a stance directly over Michael and started smiling. Then he lifted his spear and pierced it deep into Michael's side. Michael screamed in pain and held his side in agony. The tribesman then lifted his spear again as Michael rolled over and drove it into Michael's other side. Trying to escape this nightmare, and while in agonizing pain, Michael reached for the side of the canoe and was able to throw his leg over the side and then roll out onto the mud. He tried his best to stand, but fumbled in agony as he tried to get away from these men. Then 2 tribesmen grabbed him under the arms and carried him to the center of the opening in the trees. As they carried Michael, the chanting got louder and louder. Then other tribesmen began blowing on horns periodically. The men positioned Michael in the middle of the clearing, put him on his knees, and then backed away. Michael, struggling to stay upright, was holding his sides and in immense pain. A young tribesman approached Michael slowly from the side. Then he swiftly grabbed his hair, pulling his head forward and down. Then another man approached from behind. This man was carrying an axe. He raised the axe and with all of his strength brought it down on the back of Michael's neck. As it turns out, the Asmat tribe remembered a young, pretentious white man from the US who wanted to take one of their sacred and traditional biz poles in exchange for some superficial goods from America.
Hey, Christelle.
This attempt at bartering by Michael was very offensive to the Asmat tribe, and this was the reason they never sent the biz pole to Michael to hold up their end of the deal. When Michael floated up to their canoe, the Asmat tribe took it as a sign that killing this young man that offended their people would avenge some of the spirits in their tribe and would free these spirits. The hatred for Michael turned out to be the motivating factor in killing him in this unfortunate event of being in the...
So, wait. Michael was trying to get this biz pole before he swam there? Like, he had already been there, and then they decided that they were going to get this biz pole or whatever, and then he got shipwrecked or whatever, and then swam there? Like, wait.
Wrong place at the wrong time. After killing Michael Rockefeller, the Asmat tribe cut up his body and cooked and ate his flesh. His brain was considered the most important part of his body, and...
Okay, so he was coming back to steal their pole, or he already did. I thought that him getting lost going, or like the boat capsizing, I thought that's the first time that he was going to them, right?
Was
but
reserved.
It must not be, right? It must be a different time, because he's saying that they did this to avenge him stealing the thing. He had negotiated a trade for U.S. goods for a biz pole, and he was going there to exchange it, right? I thought he never had been there beforehand. Me too, yeah. Hold on, we'll
to
keep
be
listening.
eaten by the 3 elders, Jim, Finn, and Pep. Michael's skull ended up in the hut of the elder Finn, where it was treated like a special token or trophy, being painted and decorated often. The Asmat tribe swore every member to secrecy, so that this rich American family would never seek revenge. To this day, many quote-unquote authorities refuse to believe Carl Hoffman's account of what the Asmat...
See, this again kind of feels like what the Rockefellers would tell him to say.
people told him. Instead, they insist that Michael drowned while trying to swim to shore, even though no body or sign of him was ever recovered. What do you believe happened to Michael Rockefeller? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this freaky episode, like the video, subscribe, and please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next.
It's still a mystery, boys. I'm not fully convinced one way or the other. It's not like this, where I know to my core that this is what we call a cover-up. This is hiding someone's identity. This is exactly what this is. Erwin Franz Thiel, 19, who was killed at the Taldra railway crossing. What a dumb bozo. February 16th, 1933. The horse was killed too. Dr. Dorsch considered that death had occurred instantly. Good. And look at this. Mr. H. Balfour Ogilvy, the coroner, found that Teal died from injuries received in an accidental collision with the engine of a freight train. Man, that sucks. And that no blame was attachable to any what does it say? Something of the railways. Well, that's good. But okay, well, if Michael Rockefeller was going to steal that, then he fucking deserves it. He deserves to get his side stabbed or whatever happened. I see. Okay, so he spent time with them and he was going back to get that like pole that they didn't send. And they were like, "Oh, this is our chance to avenge this dude who was going to steal this pole that we are not chill with giving away." But it also, I mean, either way, if he was going to steal that pole, good, he should be eaten. But it does kind of feel like, I just usually think of like, what does the end of this story say? Is it saying, oh, this weird jungle tribe, they're a bunch of cannibals and they're scary and they don't have any loyalty. They don't honor their their trades. They don't honor their deals. That to me feels like what Rockefellers would want the story to be. You know? And that video, who was the white guy then? Who was that white guy? Because that was after he was killed, right? That was like 1970s, at least, right? That's my thing too, Cat Dad. Yeah, right? Well, so, I don't know. I still feel like this might be part of the Rockefeller misinformation campaign. Dude, I hope he fucking still is living there. He's like an old ass dude, and he just wanted everyone to think he was dead so that he could just like hang with the boys. Dude, if I went on vacation somewhere and I got there and it's like, and I get there and they're like, oh, actually this is called Noise Boys Secret Camp. And we just play music all day. We're trying to reach the higher, we're trying to reach the higher levels of God through music. Do you want to join? I would say, brother, sign me up. Yes. Yes. I'm down. I'm so down. So maybe they found, maybe he found his Noise Boys island. You know what I mean? A bunch of people that aren't sitting around talking about their boring small talk. They're talking about real shit. They're like, yo, I think that we can astrally project. And we just got to eat. Don't eat the poison that all the other countries are feeding you. And and make sure that you're drinking water that doesn't have fucking, what's the shit in it? Fluoride? He's like, and then we just sit here and we chant. We fucking bop about. And then we meet the universal one, boys. Thoth lives amongst us. We are really living. We are not like these sheep people. We are free. Dude, I want to be free. Hell yeah. That looks like way more like freedom than, I don't know, whatever we're doing.